Good morning, everybody. Chris here from All Leeds TV, and it's something new for me. The game day pre-match. My camera being a sod. There you go. Game day pre-match for the Arsenal game. So I'm sure many of you seen the post-match after the demolition of us by City. But this is why we love football, right? Game day again, which is why it's 06:57 currently on my laptop, and the excitement's back, the adrenaline's back, the optimism's back. Do you know what I mean? Because it's game day, right? And this is Leeds United. On our day, who knows? However, late yesterday there was more news of players being ill or injured. From what I've heard, and again, I'm pretty much straight out of bed. So, as far as I'm aware, recording this, one, of the game's still on. Two, the new illnesses aren't COVID related, etc., etc. But our list now of people unavailable for the game is so long that it actually makes quite a good starting 11. So out at the minute, and forgive me for looking away as I read these because I want to make sure I get them all. Pascal, Bamford, Rodrigo, Creswell, Ayling, Cooper, Firpo, Shackleton, Dan James, and of course Calvin Phillips. Right? That's a pretty good starting 10. Obviously, it just needs a keeper. Fingers crossed the keeper isn't added to it. Yeah, it's doesn't read well, does it? But it's game day, so let's look at it, how it could work potentially positively. Okay, maybe the combination of these couple of extra people being out, injuries, illnesses, whatever it may be, those being Ayling and Creswell, on top of all the injuries, and obviously Firpo being the one suspension that we've got. So taking the result and these little things into consideration, there's going to be some fresher faces out there today against Arsenal. And I think it's also got to the point for the fans looking online where they're like, the luck's not with us. It's just, the heavens have aligned and it's just after us at the minute, which can sometimes be a positive thing for Leeds. Because I think the fans are going to go into that ground. Not that they don't anyway, but I think the fans are going to go into that ground today with the us against the world attitude back. More so, do you know what I mean? It's not about seeing a Premier League Arsenal this now. This is us against the world. Luck's not with us. Potentially borderline soft penalties at Chelsea, a tonking at City, which has brought all the pundits out to give their expert opinions, etc., etc. Basically just a chance to bash Leeds. Marcelo's come out and said, I'm not going anywhere as long as the club don't sack me, which I don't think the club will. I think the club have always supported him and believe in him. Let's be honest, he's a lot of credit in the bank. So it seems that, like I discussed the other day on the post-match, I did wonder, has he had enough? There was a couple of little signs, still on the touchline after the game. And you can read far too much into stuff as a fan, do you know what I mean? But the signs just didn't look good. So it looks like, for all intents and purposes, Marcelo's here till the end of the season, at the very least. Let's make sure I put that in. Otherwise, people like, you think he's going at the end of the season? Who knows with Marcelo? Who knows? So, yeah, add all these little factors in. And it just feels like, one more factor to add in. It's a late kickoff today, 5:30. In the winter, that's a late kickoff, right? Which means it's under the lights. And Ellen Road under the lights is just something else, isn't it? We all know it. Ellen Road under the lights is something else. So I just think the players are going to go out there, and regardless of result, let's take result out of it. This is still, as they say, currently a top 4 side playing. I'm very much hopeful we'll see a performance level similar to Chelsea and not Man City from us. So let's go out there. Let's get into them. The crowd will be up for it from minute one. So keep the crowd with you. You know, a couple of hard tackles and chasing people down. When I go through my lineup in a minute, I'll explain the excitement in a couple of those potential players that I've got. Yeah, let's just have a go. Let's have a go. Let's be Leeds United. Let's have a go. I expect Stuart Dallas to be wearing the armband today. Obviously with Cooper and now Ayling out, supposedly. I'm not sure the club have confirmed about Ayling and Creswell, but it's certainly done the rooms on the Twitter sphere to probably levels where you're like, okay, this isn't nonsense now. This isn't someone just sat behind a keyboard making stuff up. So, and again, it might have been confirmed since I last looked before I went to bed last night. So, again, I'm slightly fresh this morning. I've not caught up. So yeah, I expect Stuart Dallas to be leading the team out. Let me do my starting lineup quickly. Clearly, Meslier in net. I think Cody Drama at right back. It looks like Robin Koch will probably have to come straight back in because Marcelo has deemed him fit and we've no one else, which is just the Leeds United way, isn't it? So Robin Koch alongside Diego Llorente. And at left back, Stuart Dallas. Again, Firpo being out, I expect to see Dallas there. So midfield, and I'm going to go for my preferred midfield, and then I'll tell you what I think Marcelo will play. So my preferred midfield would be Lewis Bate, Adam Forshaw, Tyler Roberts. However, I think he'll play Forshaw, Click, Roberts in that 3 there. I'd just like to see Lewis Bate get a go. Do you know what I mean? But knowing Marcelo as we do, I think it will be Forshaw, Click, Roberts in that central 3. And then up from all the front 3, obviously Rafa. Jack Harrison on the left, obviously Dan James is out. And if he doesn't start today, then Joffrey needs to be having serious words around what do we need to be, do we need to be needing the under 8s on the bench for me to get a game? Joffrey has got to start today up front, surely, even from his performance against Man City, which, you know what I mean, there was signs there, even when we were getting absolutely walloped. The ball would go up to him so often and it'd stick and he'd turn and he'd take a player on. He's got to start up front today for me. So fingers crossed we see Joffrey up front. And that's not me hanging all our hopes on him. I just think the lad deserves a start. And I think if he starts, he potentially goes and grabs a goal. I do. On the Arsenal front, I've heard a couple of whisperings again. Nothing concrete. It's just rumour. Since last time I looked, that Saka was potentially out with COVID. Which, if that's the case and more cases come out, then will the game even go ahead? Who knows? We'll see. Let's not speculate. Potentially Saka's out. I think we know Aubameyang's out due to disciplinary reasons. With his old, I'm off to see my mum or whatever, and then going for a tattoo in France and being late back. Because he's been stripped to the captaincy as well. And I think I saw someone say that Ben White potentially is out, but I reckon that's probably just a carrot dangler to the Leeds fans. Do you know what I mean? I've not heard anything concrete. Again, you guys, when watching this, might know more than me. But Arsenal are going to come pretty strong. They were Very, very good against West Ham the other day. Very good. Arteta's got them more often than not now playing decent football and getting results. So it feels like they've turned a corner from, when a lot of them were screaming for Arteta out and they were all a bunch of useless you-know-whats. It feels like they've turned a corner. So it's going to be tough today. So score-wise, I'm going to say 1-1. I'd bite your arm off for a draw now. 1-1 with Joffrey to score for me. And I would take that all day long with that injury list and everything else. I'd take 1-1 and no more bleeding injuries, please. Thank you very much, football and gods, whoever it is that's doing this. Please just let us get through a game without a couple of players limping off or pulling up or anything else. I don't know. A lad sort of laughed about it at the beginning of the video, but what else can you do? It's ridiculous. I mean, 10 first team squad players out, 7 or 8 of them you'd probably class as regular starters. I mean, yeah. I know I said on the other day that injuries is no excuse for a 7-0, and I stand by what I said. Because the performance wasn't good enough. And let's be honest, since then the players have come out and said the performance wasn't good enough. The manager said the performance wasn't good enough. So I know a couple of people said to me, you've got to understand, it's a weak squad. You can understand it, but you can't excuse it. And even the players and the manager themselves aren't excusing it. So I think I'm right in saying what I said. But yeah, this injury list is just, it is laughable. It is laughable. But like I say, hopefully this will galvanise the players. There could potentially, the bench is going to be made up of like the under 8s. Let's be honest. But there might be some people who can impact off there. Somerville, people like that. I'm struggling already. I know like there've been McKinstry, Greenwood potentially. Is it Helder? The young lad we signed from Celtic, McCarran, Jenkins. Yeah, again, it's early. I'm struggling, but you know what I mean. There's not a wealth of experience on there, is there? Lewis Bate, if he doesn't start, hopefully we'll at least see him on the bench. Otherwise, he's got to be sat there going, "What am I doing wrong here?" Because he's tearing it up. Otherwise, so let's see. That was my preferred lineup and what I think he'll play, but who knows with Marcelo? Who knows because of what happened the other night against City and obviously these extra injuries or illnesses, whatever they are, happening. Let's see what lineup he put. He might just pump out the 23s and go, lads, go and have a go for a game. And all the rest of the first team squad that are still available just sat on the bench wrapped in cotton wool like that. So yeah, let's see. But it's game day, so adrenaline's up, which, like I say, is why I'm up early. I can't sleep. Optimism's there, excitement's there, expectations there. So let's see. Going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but hopefully we at least see a performance for what will be a noisy Ellen Road. Without doubt, I think the fans feel like we're backed into a corner now because of all these injuries and everything else. And when we're backed into a corner is when Ellen Road and the fans are at the very, very best. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I hope. And I think I'll leave it there, guys. Honestly, there's not much more to say. If you go into the game, have a great evening there. Wrap up warm. Don't think it's going to be too warm there. You're watching on the telly. Enjoy it. I don't think there's a watch along this week, but keep an eye out. There might be. I'm not sure. I just think I think the majority of us going to the game, and Scotty's busy doing his Santa stuff at the minute, so I don't think there'll be a watch along. But just keep your eye out just in case. As ever, stick your comments down below. Who do you think the first 11 will be? You know, little Billy from the under 8s, because there's no one else at centre back. Who knows? Stick your first team or your starting 11 lineups in. Let me know your comments on what you're thinking. Are you pleased that Marcelo's come out and said, I'm not going anywhere till the end of the season? I am personally, and I know it might have sounded on the post-match like I was one of those that was saying Marcelo out. I'm not, because I don't think the alternative is any better at the minute. So I'm not. I think he deserves a chance to try and keep us up, which hopefully he will do. And then we'll see what the end of the season brings. But these players have got to react and perform for him now. They have to. They have to. Because I've been one of Marcelo's biggest fans. Absolutely love the bloke and always will for what he's done. Let's get that straight. But if the players don't start performing on a regular basis, not winning every 4 games, throwing a performance in, don't start performing, more and more questions are going to be asked. Has he lost the dressing room? Do the players still respect how he wants to play football? Etc. etc. It's a natural evolution, using one of Marcelo's words. It's a natural evolution of a club and its football manager with the fans. The fans will start to question if things aren't going right. So fingers crossed, the players pull their thumbs out the backsides. They play for the manager, they play for the fans, they play for the badge, and we go out there and it's not an easy game, and we give Arsenal a good game. Let's say that, eh? Because just around the corner, pending hopefully no fire breaks for football with this disease going around. I'm not going to get into that. We've got Liverpool after this at Anfield on Boxing Day. So we really do need a performance against Arsenal, because I'm genuinely fearful about the Liverpool game. I think they look every bit as good as City this season. So yeah. So whatever you're doing today for the rest of the weekend, enjoy yourself, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button as ever. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and get your comments in below. If you see me at the game, I'm in the wedge today. If you see me at the game, say hello. I shall be the one with the jacket zipped up to here, looking all cold and stuff. Have a great weekend, everyone. Fingers crossed for a decent performance, and I will catch you all later. Thanks.